I believe we have some breaking news that we are tracking right now. We are following what we believe is a pursuit.
And with that, we want to get to SkyCal as well with Mike Rogers in SkyCal, keeping an eye on things. Mike, what can you catch us up on, and what are we looking at right now?
Hey, Gio and Hunter. Yeah, this guy's blacked out 130 miles, slowing down a little bit, but about 130 miles northbound on the 710 freeway. CHP from the East LA office, they've been chasing miles northbound on the 710 freeway. CHP from the East LA office, they've been chasing this person, wanted for exactly the way he's driving, high speeds, reckless driving. 2 sheriff's helicopters overhead that are tracking this one. They made it all the way down to Long Beach before he got off the freeway and then back onto the northbound 710. The blacked out portion of this is fairly recent. Traffic is light, which is the good news. You do have CHP. They're back here. They're just a little bit further back. They're usually actually passing one unit right there. But this guy is reckless, which is exactly what he's been wanted for. Speeds over 100 miles an hour. At one point, 130 as we take this transition road here. Looks like maybe to the 5 freeway. You got the spotlight there. These units are behind him, but having trouble keeping up with the way he's driving.
And Mike, how many units are you seeing behind him? You know, usually in these situations, we know that they might, peel back in sort of a tracking mode or otherwise. But I'm curious as to how many are out there right now and sort of monitoring the situation.
Yeah, so I don't want to pull off the car too far because just the way he's driving, I don't want to lose him. But we've heard on the radio at least 2 or 3 units that are back there. And again, because of the speeds and everything like that, they've been staying just a little bit further back. But that's how we found them. We did see the red and blue flashing lights. This is a full-blown pursuit, even though those units are a little bit further back. You've got the 2 sheriff's helicopters overhead as well that are with this. Now, at one point, and we'll pull out just a little bit, and we don't see any of those lights and sirens immediately behind it, but we know that they are there. And we certainly know that the law enforcement helicopters from overhead are monitoring this one. You see the night sun there being provided by the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. 115 miles an hour here as we barrel north on the 5 freeway from the 710. This is kind of ish where we started. This is the East LA area almost, and that is exactly the office of the CHP that started this pursuit. Chased them all the way down to Long Beach, as I mentioned. He went into the 91 freeway, got off onto the 91, went into the city of Long Beach almost, and then got back northbound on the 710, and that's where we are now.
So clarify for us, Mike, because I know you said this earlier that reckless driving is what this guy's wanted for. I mean, it's jarring to see him as he's passing those cars, which we can imagine are also going pretty fast as he takes this maybe turn or exit there, I thought for a second. Mike, tell us, though, what is he wanted for? Is it just reckless driving, or could he be connected to another crime that maybe they, have heightened this as being a guy they want to get?
So, yeah, and really quick, we lost him under the underpass here. Let me see if I can just follow the sheriff's spotlight. We had heard that they ran the plate. The plate came back to him. So it's not a situation where they believe the car is stolen. We have not heard anything else about a want other than the reckless driving. And forgive me really quick, I'm just trying to reestablish, guys, I'm going to send it back to you for just a second.
Yeah, absolutely.
By all means, this is sort of the chaotic situation, right, where you see just how many overpasses there are and everything, especially with the darkness as well as an extra variable to keep in mind. I mean, it was the most striking thing initially was just how fast that car was moving.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe it. I mean, obviously you hear 120, 130 miles per hour, but until you see that driving by a car maybe going 70, 65, it does kind of put in perspective that just one person changing lanes, one person not seeing how fast that guy's going behind them could cause a catastrophic situation in a very short amount of time.
And normally in these situations, obviously, we revert back to what we're used to seeing in a lot of situations, and you wonder if the driver will eventually make it back, off the highways, off the freeways, and get to a location where they feel perhaps a bit more comfortable. But right now, light traffic, certainly a positive sign with what we're seeing so far, because it's already dangerous as it is. You can only imagine how much more it would be if there were more people on the road to keep an eye on and potentially mix in. I wonder how much closer we are, and maybe that one is it. But as we let Mike and SkyCal sort of get resituated in finding the vehicle, as perhaps we might be closing in on that one right there.
I'm back with you guys. This is the car. Sorry, he pulled a slip on us under the underpass there. He does have his lights back on, but you can still see kind of that reckless driving that we were talking about now as we exit the freeway. I believe we're going to be coming into the downtown area, back under the bridge here. See if he pops out the other side.
Yeah, sometimes these are the tricky situations, Mike, where we see cars slip under those overpasses and ditch it, or maybe switch cars, or a number of factors could happen.
Right, and we know that tactic happens frequently, and I'm wondering if that's what's happening here, because we didn't see him come back out from underneath the overpass. Let me just, oh, he came back and he turned around and went northbound. Okay, so here's the sheriff's helicopter's light. There he goes, just making that left-hand turn. We'll follow the light. Of course, guys, just so you know, we're dealing with downtown, the tall buildings. There's fog in the area as well. So we're going to do this safely from a bit of a distance here as we look at it. But there you see him still blowing through those intersections. Looked like he may have had the green light there as he went through. Another solid red looking at us, meaning he likely had the green as well. But still moving pretty fast for surface streets, going through a red signal there at 60 miles an hour on surface streets here. Not seeing any of those CHP units directly behind him, but we do see the LA County Sheriff's helicopter still overhead, lighting this one up as we continue to kind of move through the downtown area here. And I think he's going to pop out right over here. We'll keep an eye out for him. And you see the helicopter light kind of bouncing off the building there.
Out.
So.
And do we know if it's just one person in the, it's just the driver, Mike, or are there potentially more people in the vehicle as well?
Yeah, as far as we're aware, it's just the driver at this point. We have not heard anything about a passenger. Although, admittedly, they probably haven't been able to get very close to him because of the speeds that he's been going. So it may be difficult for them to actually keep an eye on how many people are in that car, as we've kind of lost them again. And excuse us. Oh, he's in a parking structure we're hearing now, guys.
Oh, boy.
So right below the Chase building. So, typical downtown here. He pulls into a downtown. Buildings are hard to follow. It's foggy out. And right into a parking structure, which is kind of the standard protocol for these pursuit suspects once they get into downtown.
MO. And when let's talk about, potential scenario here, Mike. If he jumped out of the car, are they even going to have officers close enough to be able to track him on foot? Were you able to see any of those?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's two things at play here. We didn't see those officers that were directly behind him, so it's going to take them a second for them to catch up. They'll get in the area, but it's going to take a second to catch up. But here's what's going to be to their benefit. Their benefit is the car is not reported stolen, so they know who the registered owner is. So this very well could be a situation, and we believe this is the parking garage he went into, by the way. This is at the bottom of the Chase building, which you can see is right here. So the good news for law enforcement is that the car's not reported stolen, so they can try to track down that registered owner and potentially follow up this way. The other interesting thing is that it'd be interesting to see what else, if the driver has anything else going on for him. It's unusual that you run this hard and not have anything else that you may be wanted for. So certainly CHP will be looking for that. We just got word, though, that the sheriff's helicopters have left. We don't see any ground units here. So for now, it appears like this guy may be in the wind, and CHP will try to follow up later if they so choose.
Well, and then that's, I think, the most important factor that you mentioned there, Mike, is the fact that the car was not reported stolen. So knowing that who the owner of that vehicle is, and especially if it's just one person in that vehicle, it makes law enforcement's job that much easier and allows them to sort of peel back and not sort of, not that they would be fostering chaos, but, when you see helicopters and patrol cars and everything else surrounding a particular area, it might sort of heighten things. And in this case, they know exactly who they're looking for, so perhaps not a need to sort of escalate things in this immediate moment. Do I at least have some sort of track there, correct?
Yeah, absolutely, Gio. And I just want to let you know, my pilot's letting us know that the fog is really rolling in, so we're going to start working our way out of here. We'll hold the shot of downtown as we do so. But you're absolutely right. When you look in here, we got some units coming in. We'll get that last shot before we leave. But you got some units finally coming into the park. What they'll do is they'll get in there, and more than likely they'll find the car abandoned inside of that. They'll look through it. They'll run it, figure out what this guy's deal might have been. But yeah, they'll hopefully be able to check back with him later, as you mentioned, because they've got that plate and the car's not reported stolen.
Yeah. All right, Mike Rogers, great to have you with us on a Sunday. We appreciate your insight here on that.
Happy
and of
to be
course,
here.
we know